Alright, Speedromizer community, the moment you have been waiting for is here. We are going to jump right into Streets of Rage 4 by HabKeineName. Get away.
Oh boy, imagine skipping muting their tech.
All right.
Guess we're here then. Yeah, welcome everybody, and welcome to Streets of Rage. We're gonna have a fun time with a banger soundtrack today, and I just want to say in advance already, I'm bad at this game. The only reason I really was enjoyed when I took it was because one of my speedruns has a segment that is a homage to Streets of Rage, and I loved that. And then I played the game the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm supposed to run this!" But yeah, luckily it got better.
Yeah, and I'm the person who put him up to it. I'm Matty Inc, and I submitted this run, and I personally love this game. Yeah. Hope you had some fun with it.
I definitely had. I mean, the soundtrack alone, definitely. Alright, so we're gonna play Arcade on easy, and we're gonna play Blaze. Except not because Blaze is Maddie's character, we're gonna play Adam Hunter. Alright, yeah, then I'd say we're just gonna jump right into it, and we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... Good luck and fun.
Good luck.
Alright, we're starting in and we're already seeing the first bit of Adam's signature move, which is this dash attack, which I can chain into a funny little, knockback attack, which is gonna come in handy here and there. Can take out the first few enemies in a couple swings. I mean, it's a tutorial, it's a very start, and that's very nice for movement as well. And I'm just gonna try to keep my combo.
And I'll take over so he can focus. It is a fairly technical game, and so I don't blame him for that. Yeah, as he said, this is stage 1, and we're in the streets, and they are full of rage. And we're going to be seeing some basic enemies here, and so we kind of start off with the 3 main archetypes. We have the Galcias, which are the cut-off jean shirt wearing guys there. They're very basic enemies. They go down quick. They're pretty easy to read. These Donovans are the shirtless guys here with the sunglasses. And they are the ender of combos. They like to have anti-air. And so if you ever do anything in the air towards them, for any amount of height, they're going to uppercut you and you're going to have a bad time. And then finally we see the signals in the long coats there, and they don't like to face you. They like to sneak up behind you and slide tackle you or grab you and do some cheap shots that way. And so you try and line yourself up. Facing them, they're going to want to try and slide away from you, so it can be hard to get a hold of them and actually do some damage.
I'm back here.
And so we're making our way through some enemies, these first set of enemies here, and we're going to have a car come in, hit these guys, but they're actually totally fine until we punch them in the face. That's going to be a common theme here.
Wrong attack. That's also gonna be a common theme. Me just, making a slight misinput and doing my sidewards attack instead of my neutral attack.
Mm-hmm. It's good to think of this game like a full-on fighting game, because it's very close to that. There's maybe a few mechanics that you'd see in a modern, 2D fighter like the Street Fighters or Tekkens that you won't see here, like a block button. But in general, there's all the same kinds of combos, counting frames, hit stun stuff that you would find in any fighting game, and those things matter. So even just a single missed input can drastically change the outcome of what you're expecting to happen. But
I love this aerial.
The first mini boss there, the Kubo robot guy, and make our way down into the next section where we encounter the Kevins and a stage hazard. We were pretty devoid of any stage hazards in the first section, but now we have these electric wires that'll, have a burst of electricity and do damage and knockback
Like that.
to anyone who stands on them, including enemies and yourself alike. So, picking up the star for later. And, screen full of enemies here. We got some Kevins, we got some Signals, we got some Galcias, and, some more guys are going to jump in from the top of the screen here. And a lot of the speed tech in this game is, one, knowing where enemies are going to spawn and how they spawn, and then two, how to efficiently group them and, what are the combos that you can do the quickest to get them dead, as fast as possible. And that way you can move on, as quickly as possible. And here we are into our first boss, Diva. She has an electric snake for some reason. And with any luck, we're going to be able to just burn her down before too long. But about halfway down our health bar, she's going to get a Desperation Move or DM move. She's going to jump into the middle of the screen here and set off a big electric AoE. And after this, some ads are going to continually come in from the back of the screen and just cause all kinds of problems. So keep on comboing her down, and trying to maintain that with the ads on the screen can be a bit of a problem. Getting hit with a pipe in the face is never fun.
What do you mean it's never fun? It's always a great joke.
But getting through that just fine nonetheless, so good job.
Stage 1. 5:19, bit longer than I usually take. I am down to around 5 minutes a stage consistently, and then need 10 minutes for the final stage. So plus minus a few seconds is already, quite a change for me right now with a 5:19 early game. But whatever. We have the time. Not like we're half an hour ahead of schedule or something.
No, of course not. Don't be absurd. But, so we are now in the police precinct here, and we were locked up, but, we're a badass, so we just kind of punch our way out of the cell. Unfortunately, all the other criminals here are being let out of their cells, and that's a problem. Being a Streets of Rage game, the cops and criminals alike are out to get you, as we try and restore justice to the city. So we're going to be making our way through, the jail section here.
How are you still alive? How are you still alive? I refuse. Come here.
They can be mean. And this is so we have our new enemy, the cops, and we've seen 3 different versions here. This one is the black shirt cop, the Barney, who is the most advanced cop that we are going to be seeing. And they always have a taser and have a really annoying lunge attack that unfortunately you see, and it's really, really hard to dodge. They come at you quick. The yellow shirts there, they'll come up behind you and grab you or sucker punch you, and then the blue shirts will just kind of punch you. And, they're kind of showing off the different tiers of enemies. So they have basic archetypes. So like I was talking about the Galcias, we have a yellow shirt Galcia type, which is the BT. So it has more health, more damage, more advanced moves. We also see that with the cops. And here's the first Shielder cop acting as the mid-boss. They have hyper armor, which means they can't be interrupted while that shield is active. So it takes some damage to break it, and then he becomes vulnerable, and you combo him down just like that. Making our way up into the precinct, we see that the cops and criminals are actually fighting each other. Could see that a little bit earlier, but it's more clear here. And making our way to the right, as you do in these games. More Shielder cops, and unfortunate baton to the face. but no worries there. That will happen. It's really hard to go through these games without taking any damage. It is, of course, possible, but you have to really be going for it.
I hate those guys. Yeah, I hate those guys. I hate this specific attack. I just never see it coming. Especially, you know, just coming into the screen extension. You know, the screen is locked at some point. You can only go so far until you've killed everyone in the room. You should just come into the next segment and then immediately get something like takes up to the face. Always great.
But clear those guys pretty nicely. And this is a special set of enemies where you see the go sign. You don't actually have to clear any of these shielders. If you do, you get a star, but it's faster to not take care of that many hit points worth of enemy. And the commissioner conveniently reveals all of the money that was in his desk, completely legitimately taken, I'm sure. But because of that, we're going to beat him up.
I should have waited until he come down, whatever.
And in addition to just the commissioner jumping around and throwing you into walls and stuff, he gets a lot of ads. So a bunch of cops are going to be coming in from the left side of the screen. And when he gets to about half health here, he's going to get a DM as well. And that's going to summon a black shirt cop in addition to all these other ones that we're having to take care of.
Ouch. Can you stop for a moment, please? Just a moment. Thank you.
And the commissioner has a lot of hyper armor frames when he's charging up, which can be good depending on what attack you're using. You can get damage in. He's not invincible, but you can't stop whatever he's going to be doing. And so you just have to try and avoid it and time that out.
Decent fight, in my opinion, for my, usual fights. But yeah, I'll take that.
Pretty good.
10-10, definitely take that.
On to the cargo ship. We have a new stage hazard here, the exploding barrel, which when they get hit, they'll explode after second and change. And so if you're by it, they'll do damage to you, but more importantly, they do damage to enemies. And so we can knock them into them, and it does a lot of damage. It's pretty good. We have the more evolved Kevin, the Francis, who will now do a spinning kick at you. Has more health and stuff, but good mop up with those guys.
For the first time.
Yep.
It was gonna be a lot of fun in a moment.
Avoid the explosion there, nice. And on up, and then, yep, here's the Big Ben that we saw earlier, and he likes to breathe fire, just like that. Has a lot of hit points, will roll around, slap you in the face. Generally a fairly beefy enemy to take down. But cleaned up nicely. And another small screen of enemies coming in from the left and the right. And I guess to explain the basics of combat in this game, there is a simple jab combo that you'll see fairly often there. It's short range, fast, low damage, but then it can easily chain into other attacks. There is the offensive special, which will consume some health. You'll see that it's in the form of temporary damage, and so if you get hit while you have that temporary damage, it becomes permanent damage in addition to whatever the hit did to you. But the offensive special does good damage, tends to have a good knockback, and I'll explain more in the next stage. But first off, we have Boss Nora. He's whipping the Galcias up into Galcias! As you see on their name tag there. I'll never get tired of it. And
What I am getting tired about those guys, though, is their hyper armor.
yes, they have permanent hyper armor. In addition to awesome glowing hair, they double their health, they do more damage, and you can't stop them. And as they continue to fall down, Nora will continue to try and whip them and make more. So it's can be a very chaotic fight, managing all of the ads to make sure that they don't transform and become bigger problems, as well as continuing to get damage on the Nora. But there aren't really any flashy DN moves like the previous two bosses. There's just different ad phases. So nicely cleaned up.
Wait for it. Boom!
Love the slow-mo finish.
Yep. Another small issue I have is after the stage ends, you usually get, even in arcade mode, you get a cutscene and etc, etc. But the other thing is also that after you finish the boss, there still is like a second left after the slow-mo ends to do some inputs. And like usually I just mash my entire right side of the controller whenever the boss is dead. However, if you do that, too quickly after the boss has died, you might waste one of your ultimates, which definitely has happened to me before, multiple times.
Yep.
Also, don't mind me punching the ladies. I hate the ladies.
Speaking of, they're the new enemy of this stage. We haven't seen before. And as you can see here, they have a very annoying jump attack. Can be very hard to read the depth of it. And it's coming in at an odd angle, so it can be really hard to not get hit by it. But we have the stage hazard in this area, the pit, as we unfortunately fell down, but also making good use of in just knocking enemies back and just instant kill. So just trying to give everyone the pit is a good strategy.
I'll start this one again. It's here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I somewhat remember the map by now. Haha.
So we have a few waves of ads here. We take out the Donovans, in comes some Galcias with knives, and then there'll be some more ads after the third one of those drops. And then, as you're cleaning up this screen nicely, I'll start explaining the next one. The next screen here, we're going to have a transition where there's going to be a big grand melee. We have these shielder cops and some black shirt cops.
Excuse me, what?
That are getting taken care of. Nice. Best to just, again, like I was saying in the first stage, group up enemies together so you can hit more things with the same attack is fast. And then we have a bunch of these criminals coming in from the left side, and normally there'd be a huge brawl, and everything is just real squirrely because it's hard to track what's attacking you in particular. But that was nicely handled.
Yeah, I just jump down. That's like the one place where, usually, as you said, like the general idea to go fast is to group up enemies so you can just take care of them all at the same time. While, personally, you haven't seen me do that a lot here yet, and mostly see me just punch the same enemy in the face all alone. Simply because, I noticed Adam has some nice knockback attacks that I could use to, exactly group them up as I want, but for the most part, when I actually tried to do that, I didn't really work out. But for that one, just slamming the ultimate into the death punch just works out so nicely. And hey, Estelle.
Yep, this is the boss of the stage, Estelle. She's the super cop. She gets a lot of backup, as we're going to see. She's going to trigger it 3 times in this fight, and it's reminiscent of the old Streets of Rage 1 ultimate move, where you'd call in some cops with a bazooka, and she gets that ability against you, and it leaves a really long animation on the ground with a lot of fire and knockback, and it's just unpleasant. Second phase, we still have the fire bombs, but now we have a couple blue shirt cops. It's probably the easiest to take care of, in addition to, kicks to the face and stuff. And then the final DM phase, which is coming up here, is if you thought 1 firebomb was good, how about 3 in a row? Forever. Nice little heal there. Staying alive, feeling good. And another short combo will take her down if you can stop getting bounced around by the fire, because the floor is lava.
Yeah, the other thing also is with this boss in particular, I hate the boss arena, because the arena is just, I feel, wider than most arenas. So usually I expect the bosses to just bonk against the wall and come back to me and right into my special attack. Not happening here 99% of the time, which annoys me a lot.
Yep. It's also slightly sloped, and she's a really heavyweight character, so she doesn't bounce up as high as a lot of others. So yeah, it's really hard to juggle there. But we're past that, so on to the next stage here. We're in the underground, and we see that in addition to some hits, we have these glowing goop pools, acid pools, that both cause a slow and a damage over time effect for anything standing in it. So you can take out a lot of enemies by just luring them into those pools, but it can be very difficult to avoid them or get out of them if you find yourself in one. There's also these, jets that are blasting here, and those will also do a knockback and damage, so you can make use of those or avoid, as may be the case. Especially in this next screen, these horizontal ones can be really annoying to try and maneuver around and still face your enemies fast.
Yeah, no, which is exactly why you're coming to me and not I'm coming to you, which worked out perfectly there.
So, another small screen here to talk a little bit more about combat briefly. I talked about the offensive special a little bit. There's also a defensive special, which is one of your few ways to avoid damage. You actually do get some iframes from it at the cost of some temporary damage, like I said. It'll also still do some damage to generally surrounding yourself to knock enemies away from you, give yourself a little breathing space. And we have another mid-boss then after that screen. If you thought Kubo from the first stage was a worthy mid-boss, and Big Ben from stage 3 was a worthy mid-boss, how about both at the same time?
I'm gonna go grab that chicken before we start the boss, or, well, the second half.
Next section here, yep.
I always tend to just come here and confuse myself and think like, alright, once I go up here, I'll face the DJ. Nope, he is next 2 or 3 more stages. Just, when you're in the sewers and there's suddenly a huge surround system, you think you're coming up to a concert, not a bar.
Foreshadowing. So yeah, we did make our way from the underground up into the men's room and of a bar here, and it's a biker bar as it turns out, and these ladies like to dash at you with their helmets, and we see the different tiers. We got the pink ladies who have a short little dash. It's very linear. The yellow shirts have a longer dash. They can also do a kick, and they can get a little vertical movement to it, or depth to their attack. And we'll see one more coming up here later on in this screen, and just kind of again showcasing the different tiers of enemies. But we're gonna, in the meantime, interrupt the pool game. Don't forget the star in the table there, or the chair.
You.
And then as we walk just a little bit to the right, that's going to trigger this cutscene where we get the most badass biker lady coming on in, and just take her down as fast as possible, in addition to all of the other ads that are off to your left. A little bit of cleanup left to do there.
Yeah, I just like to focus the boss down because the boss is annoying. Also, I want to come back here later anyways, because I'm taking a flame bottle with me.
Yep. So, haven't really seen too many weapons. We'll see more later on, but some of the weapons can be very useful. And this is the boss, Barbin.
Not exactly the best use, but whatever.
Flame bottle. That still did the damage. It's all good. And that does fire AoE in the floor. Barbin has a lot of very fast attacks, a lot of hyper armor to charge up, like those roundhouse kicks there, and is very squirrely. Likes to move around a whole lot, so can be very hard to pin. DM phase goes into a lot of roundhouse kicks. Yeah, kicks for days with this man. And as you might have noticed, there's a bunch of motorcycles in the background. You can break those, and for every one you break, you'll summon a biker lady because, you know, they're a little upset that you broke their bike. But they also have goodies like health and, you know, weapons that can drop. So it's a risk reward for do you need resources while fighting Barbun, and you still have to get punished for breaking the bike. Got a few stars left if you need them.
I kind of like to keep him. Since he was so low anyways. I'm happy I'm still deathless.
That per stage. Don't worry about it.
Oh, they do?
Yep.
Ah. Well, learn something new.
At the start of every stage.
Learn something new today. Welcome to Chinatown, where I immediately just get punched in the face.
Oh yeah. Chinatown is the level where the game reminds you that, you know, there's weapons in the game. How about you use some weapons? Weapons are good, and it's going to be dropping a lot of really powerful weapons throughout the stage, and there's a few situations where it's just really, really nice to use them, and we'll be seeing that coming up just for some foreshadowing. We also are seeing a new enemy type here, the Kickboxer. Kickboxers are probably my least favorite enemy type. They have a block which negates almost all damage that they take, and you can only break that by grabbing them, but then that leaves you vulnerable to every other enemy on the screen. They also have that flying knee attack, which reaches from miles away and will always hit you in the head, and just really unpleasant to deal with. They have a couple other attacks, but those are the two ones that are really annoying to work with. And we have the Gourmand.
Also, kind of unhappy that the last one ran just right into him here. Also, another Adam-specific thing that I noticed / picked up at some point is you see me sometimes just jabbing the first two attacks a few times of my combo. You might ask yourself of like, wow, this seems OP. You could just probably just combo them infinite with him. They don't seem to come out of it. Sadly, they do. I can't do more than 6 hits of the first 2 attack combos, else they will come out.
Yep. Yeah, there's a anti-infinite code at work there, so any enemy that takes 7 standing hits automatically gets knocked down no matter what. And so by that point you need to get them into the air and start juggling them. Nice throw.
Very nice throw indeed. Did not even anticipate them taking that much from it.
Yeah, the throw and cleaver does a lot of damage, and it has another unique property in that it pierces enemies. And so you can throw it through a line of enemies and they'll all take a lot of damage, which is really good.
Didn't mean to. Come on. Let me do the thing that I want to do. Alright.
A couple more enemies here. We see the Kickboxers guard a few more times here. Causing no end of problems.
I like the background here with the man just eating rice in the background. And I love this guy, because this guy is stupid, but I have something against his stupidity. So you can see him holding his arms up here, which is a counter stance, in which he'll counter my attack. But with my aerial special, I can just hit him a few times and literally break him out of his counter stance as soon as he comes out of it. It's not the most insane damage, but at least the safest way to take this dude out, because otherwise he usually gets pretty darn annoying for me. It might not be the fastest, but having safe strats for some enemies is sometimes also just amazing. And I have to hope to not die or lose my weapon.
Yep, this, like any good classic martial arts film, to the right is the trigger. You have a pagoda fight. So there's several levels of the dojo here, and they're going to all spawn waves of a particular enemy. So first one here is a bunch of Galcias. Thankfully, we have these spears that can just one-shot them on easy, which is super nice. But we also see that the Galcias can pick up weapons and then they just charge you and knock you down, and that can be quite a pain as more and more flood onto the screen. But continue to mow them down.
Especially when they then start to pick up your halberds, because those things have range.
I think that one is a little low, but we'll find out here. On to the second level, we have a bunch of Donovans, and the upgraded versions, the Alette. I forget how to actually pronounce it, but it's the Alette. You can one-shot the Donovans, or you can do a blitz attack with the spear to get the upgraded guys down. That can be really hard to line up in time. But unlike the Galcias, when they pick up the weapons, they'll actually swing them, which increases the range and makes them probably more annoying to deal with. You also have a harder time dealing with them just in general because they have more health.
Lost my first life, no deathless, whatever.
Yeah, that'll happen a lot in this area. There's not a lot of health pickups, and
yeah, I was hoping I could still make it into this screen to just eat some of the apples, but hey, sword, buy sword.
Yep, and this room is the kickbox room, as we see, and it will have infinite ads until the white shirt kickboxer goes down. So it's important to prioritize killing that guy in particular, because nothing else matters.
Also something that I didn't know.
There you go.
Already learning so much wisdom here today. That didn't quite have enough range.
Glad I can.
Right, please. Thank you. Alright, fill up on health. I'd like my sword back.
Sword is good. And on to the boss at the top level.
Alright, let's hope I get the good start. Let's hope I get the good start, because if I dash in the right angle here and far enough, he'll literally just stand right in front of me, in range for my sword. Sadly didn't get it. Else I could have, just swing my sword till it breaks, but sadly that's not happening, so... come on.
Yep, this is Shiva, and Shiva's a reoccurring character, and Shiva chooses violence. Shiva's really annoying to fight. Has a lot of really just dirty things. Can do that teleporting move where it can kind of jump around the stage. You see the first DM coming out. That's not tied to his health bar. He can just do that whenever, for as many times as he wants. He can spawn more than one clone. It has all the same moves. He also has Hyper Armor Charge Palm thing, which will just knock you down. He automatically stands up with a kick, so you can't do any on the ground stuff. Just...
Been a while that I've actually seen this. Can I just get... That will not hit. Actually it did, but did not kill. Come on, really?
One jab left. Nice. Yeah, so good job taking him down there.
Yeah, not the cleanest fight I had. It's just always nice when you dash right into, so he's right in front of you, and you can literally just get your sword broken him in and get him already to half health. It's rare that I can get that, but on to the next stage.
Yep, this is Skytrain. Skytrain is very linear. We're on a train. We move to the right. We have to avoid the signs that are flying past because we are on a train, and it'll hit anything that's standing up, enemies, yourself, whatever, and knock them down. When we defeat enough enemies here, then we're going to come into the stop, and a bunch of ads are going to be jumping on top of the train and have to deal with those. More criminals, more cops, and so they're going to fight each other a little bit, and it's just a lot of bodies to chew through. So that's about it until we start moving again. So I'll talk a little bit more about combat, because I haven't in a while. So in addition to the specials, we also have seen a lot of blitz attacks, which is that low punch that he's doing. And that's just like your double tap in a direction and jab. But it'll dash you forward, do some good damage, do some knockback, and for Adam is nicely chainable into other things. Can get some nice wall bounces. Also have a whole suite of air combo stuff. There's different stances for moves that you do in the air, as well as a special for that. And we're into Estel again. She's back for more, with more backup, and this time she has grenades, which hardly seems fair.
Not even fast enough. Not even close to being fast enough.
You can pick them up and throw them back to damage her, but they will damage you instead if you don't pick them up and you're in range. So, a bit unfortunate on timing there, but that's okay. That'll happen.
I always forget to jump. That grenade looks good. Alright. Except I just didn't hit anything with it.
And as we see, she called in backup, and her backup this time is the Commissioner, which was the boss from Stage 2. Fully powered up and everything, but we don't have to defeat him to beat the boss. We just have to focus on Estel. But it is better to group them up together, just so you don't have to try and track
Why
what
can
each
I
one
not
is
grab
doing.
them right now?
So that's going to blow up nicely and continue the combo. And down she goes. Beautiful.
Nice one. Alright. On to stage 8.
And stage 8 is the art gallery, which has a lot of really big screens. We have this new enemy, the lady who throws dangerous objects. The first ones here are going to throw these fire vials that we saw earlier. And thankfully they do die to their own fire vial in one hit on easy, which can be nice, but if you get touched by the fire, you get knocked back, you get damaged, and that really causes a lot of interruption to your combos, so it can be a pain to deal with.
Also, anyone in need of a friend, because we're gonna make a new best friend right now. Say hello to Safety Chicken.
The Golden Turkey. Oh, we saw some enemies staring at it, the art piece that it is, and you might have noticed that all the other turkeys, when we pick them up, we get a full heal. Not so with this one. It's actually a thrown weapon, and it does a lot of damage. It will one-shot any enemy in this stage, but it'll also do a lot of damage to the boss. So we're going to try to carry that all the way to the end, but if it ever hits an enemy, then it will break, and we'll lose that chance forever.
Maybe that chair didn't count.
That's new in the recent patch, so it used to count, but no more, thankfully.
Happy for me.
We see ladies throwing these poison vials out, generating those fields that we saw in the underground. And one more to take care of, and then we will be able to continue on to the next screen.
Come here, Lou.
We also see some security guards. They have pretty standard attacks. They like to grab you and punch you like the yellow shirts. They just have a little bit more health. And a little bit of a lunge to their attack. And here we have an ambush. A lot of ladies with grenades tried to ambush us. Throwing grenades back at them is a good way to take them out. But unfortunately, there's just a lot of enemies that'll be coming in on the screen, a lot of thrown objects that you have to keep track of.
Coming? You coming? You not?
Getting zoned out. Yeah, they like to keep their distance at kind of at a set point, so they'll sit there and wait and just keep chucking objects at you.
That would have been a second that turkey.
Nice couple ads here, a couple more ahead. Almost to the boss. This is there's no like two sections to this stage, but it is pretty complex for each of the screens. Can be very technical, and if things get away from you, they get away bad. So a couple boxes here, and And now we're on to the boss. And it's not just one boss, it's two. Speedo and Rito.
Nice miss. Not even close, whatever.
But you see, when it hits there, it does about half a health bar to one of the bosses, which is quite helpful. You see that they both get their DM attacks there when one reaches half health, and now they become more dangerous. AoEs increase. One is fire type, one is poison type, and the fire one tends to be the one you want to focus down because it'll have more of a knockback effect, harder zoning effect. The poison just does temporary damage, so you can just kind of punch your way through that without being knocked around as much. But good and clear.
Yep.
Moving on.
White Tower. Did anyone ask for ice physics? I sure didn't.
Ice physics in a steam room, in the bottom of a corporate tower. There's a lot of things that don't make sense about this, but here we are. and unfortunately, really long screens. But it's okay. I think I'll ask if the host has anything that they'd like to talk about. Well, I'll let them get themselves together there, and we'll keep talking about this stage.
Yeah,
then.
sure. Let me just check.
I just want to say, just in case, DJ, you're still muted on Discord,
So
like you were at the start of the game.
We are currently sitting.
So we can't hear if you're talking. Sorry about that.
Donation incentive, real quick.
Just double checking for that.
We are current 5 and
Because you tend to sometimes do that.
90. Just realized that myself muted in Discord. My bad.
No worries. Are you good there, or do you want to talk for a little bit longer?
Yeah, sorry. My settings are all over the place right now. So
No worries, no worries.
for $30 out of 590, and if you want to see us hit $2,000, because I know I sure do. Get your donations in, ! Donate, and we are raising money for the Trevor Project. Trevor Project is the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning young youth. They work to save the young lives by providing support through free and confidential suicide prevention and crisis intervention programs on platforms where young people spend their time. A 24/7 phone lifeline, a chat, text, and through Trevor Space. They also provide public education, engage in advocacy efforts, and develop research. With your donations, we can help the Trevor Project end suicide rates of LGBTQ youth. You can visit thetrevorproject.org to find out more about this amazing organization.
Yeah.
Did someone ask for guns in my beat 'em up? More likely than you think.
Yes, we have the new enemy type, gun.
And now we're going to my favorite room.
Also a beat 'em up classic, we have the elevator. We can see there that the glass on either side can break if you knock enemies into it enough, which will be important to do by the last wave of enemies here, but got a little bit of time to do that. More enemies are going to be dropping down in waves, and just taking care of them as best as you can.
Trying too hard to knock them.
Yeah, no worries about it.
I need my
Just do
turkey.
what you
Give me
can.
the turkey. Give me the turkey.
We see the red coat signals there. They're the most advanced signals, actually one below the max, and they like to throw you around instead of just slide tackling you. They also do that, but
Yeah, that's
they're a little
not a good stage at all. Luckily, at least with those, I can make some work. If I'm correctly positioned, which I was not for them. And there goes the second life. There we go, and immediately jumping out the window in the process.
Thankfully, we're on easy and it doesn't do a lot of damage to us.
Yep, so now the goal is to just, you know, punch him out of the window, because why wouldn't we? Or just throw him over our heads out of the window.
And the reason why that was important is this next wave here, we have 2 Big Bens and a Gourmand that are all going to be dropping down, and they have a lot of health. So if we don't have to deal with any of that, that's good.
1 for 1, I'll take that.
And off we go.
I'm gonna lose at least 2 lives here.
On to Max. Max is a former protagonist, but now he's a boss. Max has permanent hyper armor. He has wrestling moves. He's really mad, so this is a bad combination.
Could you say he's Mad Max?
One could say that. In this post-apocalyptic world, dominated by desert, filled with streets and rage.
Oh, come on, at least let me get up before you do that.
So yeah, he has that spinning lariat there, he has the charge attack, and when he flashes red like that, he's going to go for a unescapable grab that just does a lot of damage.
Nice thing about this hyper armor, at least, is I also have some hyper armor in my aerial combo. So close and yet so far.
So
Let's finish
close,
off with a
yeah.
bang.
In style.
Yeah, the good thing about this is at least my aerial also has some very nice iframes, so I mostly can just, you know, jump over him, in between him, spam that spin kick. Because I'm good at spamming spin kick, because that's the only thing we do in the other in the game that I mentioned at the start. That is that has a section that is a homage to Streets of Rage. Because there, all we do is spam spin kick the entire time, because spin kick is the best move you have there.
Yeah. So, Max is down, and we're on to some rooftops here. We're going to a concert. We alluded to it in the underground, but turns out Max was being mind-controlled with some sort of sonic mumbo-jumbo. Whatever the case may be, we're going to punch it.
Because that's just how this game goes.
Yep. Refers to the adage of, if violence didn't solve your problems, you didn't resort to enough of it. So we're going to be jumping down a series of rooftops here. We have an ambush waiting on the rooftop above us.
You totally cannot see that coming.
Nope, not at all.
Oh my lord, it's an ambush!
We have 2 grenade ladies, and they're going to continue to throw grenades at us until 2 of these biker ladies are dead. And then they'll come down to join the fray, but until that time, there's going to be a lot of grenades in the ground, and they have knockback. And they can change knockback like that, which is really, really annoying.
I'm wondering right now if it's commentator curse, or if I'm literally just, you know, should go with the, yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking, that's why I'm doing it to showcase. Hammer.
Never cursed anyone in my life. Not even once.
Stop. Hammer time. Just for
You're
the
just
joke.
that good. Read my mind from across the world. So we have a couple more Galcia types with knives. Thankfully a full heal there after the ambush. And some Big Ben types. We have a new one, Anri. We're only going to see, I think, that name once, but the type is he rolls around like a pool ball, and has a lot of hyper armor, has a lot of knockdown, but taking care of that pretty nicely. One more rooftop section, and a personal favorite of mine, ones with wrecking balls. You can punch them, and they'll swing back and forth, and do a lot of damage and knock back any of the enemies that get hit by it. This also includes you, like any of the stage hazards, but hopefully we stay in control of that and use it for the power of good. So we'll have enemies coming down on either side, and you generally try and punch down one side and use the wrecking ball for the other one as they try and cross the bridge to get to you.
Alright, I like that hammer. and that food. Alright, they block those. Completely forgot that that's a thing they do.
Yep. Starting with this stage, the Gelsia types will now catch thrown weapons in addition to throwing them themselves, which can be very annoying when you're like, I don't want to close on you and throw a weapon and then I catch it and then throw it and hit you in the face and then you're sad.
Still, however, that is also a mechanic that you yourself can do if, you know, you have the timing and the practice and a feeling for it.
Yep. There's a lot of things that are, you know, you have parity with any of the enemies. So if anything's, you know, a little unfair, don't worry, you can do it to the enemies too. But of course it feels bad when they do it to you. With the robot down, we stop spawning ads. And,
hammers. Which hammer do I choose? This one?
Probably an apple II. Oop.
Wait.
Well.
I won't need it. I mean, if I lose a life, then it's whatever. So, stop hammer time.
We have DJ K. Washi, who has a shield like the Shielder cops, and whenever he gets to stand up, he's going to regen that shield. So it's important to make sure you take him down after the first break, just like that. Fantastic job.
I love this one. I'm happy I found the hammer because I only, like, a week ago started using weapons here and there. And I just found out, wow, that hammer is, like, insane. And then I just found out, hey, I can do this if I actually collect all the thingies, all the stars to get all the special attacks. So, elevator time. Don't throw me off.
We have another ledge and another way to just throw enemies off to their supposed death. Or, you know, a soft cushioned landing, we don't know, but they're out of our face, which is all that matters. Several waves of enemies here, and I guess we haven't talked yet about the star moves, so I'll finish up with that. You've seen them a number of times and probably figured out how they work, but I'll tell you anyway. We see the one star underneath our health bar and score. That's the number of times that we can use that particular star move. And you can always start each stage with one, and you can pick up more throughout each stage depending on which stage it is. And that will let you go invincible and do a lot of damage to surrounding enemies, and tends to be saved for bosses. But any really big encounter can be good to burn those on and really just delete a lot of things. So we get down off the elevator onto the tarmac. We have a plane to catch. And we have a bunch of Shielder cops for some reason, and these ladies that have quite an arm, they throw the electric bottles, as you see generates a big AoE, but they have trouble throwing it next to them. But if you make them drop it, it's a really big AoE and you're probably next to them. So you kind of have to balance how you do that. But you can also kind of position them to take out enemies that are on the far side of the screen if you are really clever, but that's more a if you can manage to do it, great, but don't focus on it too much. And with the last one dead, we have a few explosive barrels, and that's going to open the way to get onto the plane, where we're going to reenact Air Force One, the old Harrison Ford movie. Plane's taken off, and the cargo bay is open off our plane. And now we have Shielder cops with tasers and more gun. Bad combo. We're gonna see that another time down the way here. Break shields. Don't let the Shielder guys regen their shields, and try your best to avoid getting shot. Very difficult to do all those things at once.
That grenade took a little bit too long for my liking. Whatever.
And this is the second to last stage, and this is where the game really starts to ramp things up and really test to see how well you've learned in the previous stages. Each one kind of focuses on different aspects of the game, and now we start to combine it all together, throw a lot of different enemy types at you, a lot of kind of different enemy combos that require all of those types of skills that you've developed throughout the rest of the run. This and the next stage both are doing that quite a lot. So we're having, like, you know, those jumping ladies and trio, and then why not throw a gun in there? If you know, one lady with a whip was good, why not 3?
Out of my way.
Spoilers for the foot that you saw over to the right there. Why not have all the elemental types? And this is all in service to chasing down Mr. Y, CEO of the evil Y Corporation, as we've learned throughout the plot of this game. One last lady to take down, guarding this door, and into the cockpit of this plane, we have our showdown.
With more gun.
With more gun. Somehow Mr. Y got through TSA clearance with a quite an array, but he's not the smartest man. He's going to be firing off all this in the cockpit of his airplane. He also is armed with the most powerful laugh known to man. It makes him go invincible. Quite annoying. Now that he gets his DM, he's going to open up the rest of the arsenal. So he has a rocket launcher that he's going to fire in this airplane. He has grenades that he's going to throw around in this airplane. And, you know, continue to fire his Uzi. Just normal things to do in the cockpit of a plane. So while we're dealing with all of the hyper armor and jumping around, which can be make it really hard to pin him down, but got him in the corner, nice. One last little hit. Oh, rolled out of the way. Got it, nice.
Not throwing out your grenades once more. Alright, with 8 lives to spare, I do not think that I'll be having a trouble with my last stage here. Where I usually, at the start, used to constantly die in front of the second to last room.
Yep, if the plane was tying things together, this one just throws the kitchen sink at you in addition. So, not surprisingly, after what we saw there, the plane crashed. But we walk away from that just fine. We just have half a health bar of temporary damage. And you know what? We're badass. We just need to punch some dudes in the face to regain that, and now we're healthy again. Because that's how this game works. Crossing a bridge, a bunch of different ads here. We got some jumpy ladies, we got some biker ladies, some advanced biker ladies with a lot of hyper armor. All coming at us, and some more motorcycles to break.
How did I misinput that? I have no idea why I just instinctively input that.
I was not the worst usage, so I wouldn't say it was wasted, at least. It could have been an empty screen. I've done that plenty of times.
As I said, 1 or 2 seconds after the boss dies. Also, can we just be quiet for the music change?
The bottom corner.
Can we just be quiet for the music change? I love the soundtrack. Or gun.
Most advanced gun. Many iframes. Many shots. And you want to just stick on them and until they're gone, because they'll get away from you and they'll put a lot of hurt down. But nice. And
oh hey, what does this do?
A castle. And like any good castle, yeah, we have chandeliers, and like any good action movie, you can drop the chandeliers on your enemies. So we're gonna do that. And this room is a lot to manage. There's a lot of high-level enemies, a lot of big health bars, a lot of different enemy types that you have to deal with, and a lot of weapons that are being used, generally against you. You can see the Galcias there, where Jonathan's charging. And the Z's will also pick up the swords and daggers and be throwing them at you, so it's a lot to manage. after you clear up these last two guys, we'll have a couple more ads jumping in here. We have the most advanced robot jumping on in here.
And I always forget he does a double jump.
Triple even.
Yeah. But
And
luckily he brings a mace, and that mace is gonna be another undoing. Unless he just does that, which, please don't. I kinda needed those maces.
Thankfully he spawns more.
Can I make this out without losing a lie?
It'll be close. Got hit by the wake up there. One attack away. Almost.
But that mace is mine now. And ninjas, because why not?
The shadows are terribly annoying. You can see them just circling around, and then they have a rare range attack, and they like to use that exclusively. So it can be really hard to pin them down to actually do damage. They don't have a lot of health once you do, but boy is it annoying to chase them down. Oh, look, an apple. Surprise, it's an ambush. Three more shadows to take out there. And on we go. You can see that we're carrying this mace. He's going to be carrying that for a little bit here to use later on against a specific enemy. This is another very fun room, very challenging room. We have all the Big Ben types coming in for a family reunion. So we have one of each. The roller guy, the fly guy, and the fire-breathing guy. But wait, there's more. How about two of each?
I was afraid he was gonna run into me and not stop, but luckily he stopped right in front of me.
Onto the Gormans there. They're going to belly flop at you. I personally have some of the most trouble dodging those flying attacks, so I end up just defensiving special through them and just cheesing that out, but there are faster ways to deal with them and try and group them up. But however you live through this section, it is perfectly fine. Just keep doing damage and
yeah, that's why I love
living.
I just love the aerial special, because you can see the damage is quite nice, and I can actually, even though they're considered heavy, I can knock them up for some very good damage, and they can't move during that, so didn't mean to hit. Whatever. Can I stop wearing down my mace? Wasn't there another star in here somewhere?
No.
Yeah. Must have misremembered then. Oh no, ambush!
Yeah, you thought you were safe, but no. One final shadow. Just to see if you were paying attention.
And now we're in the second to last room, and that's probably where I'm gonna spend the most time of this run.
Yeah, Miss Y has a mace, and she likes to use it a lot from range.
He has a rapier, I have a mace.
Sorry, yeah, she has a rapier. And the statues also contain shadows. They do have health inside them, but that's kind of one of those trade-off things like the bikes in the bar there that we saw earlier. So, when you get close to her, she likes to throw out that really quick attack, so it can be hard to pin her down. And she likes to jump around to regain that spacing. It's helpful to use jumps to avoid some of that, or a defensive special to avoid the damage, but then you take some temp damage and you're probably going to get hit again, so that can be a problem. She's going to use her DM, and now she gets this dash attack. So she's going to start at one side of the room, get hyper armor, and then dash forward and back, but thankfully she returns to that same position, so you can camp it out, and you're going to know that you're going to be able to pick her up and at least get some damage in there.
At this point, I'm just gonna start playing Reckless, because I have 7 lives, and as I just mentioned, we're in the second to last room, so if I die, it's whatever.
Yep. Nice.
Also not gonna pick... Am I gonna pick up the health? Will that lock me out of leaving the room?
Yeah, the shadow will spawn, but you can you'll not take enough damage to make it a loss there. So yeah, she runs away, and now you have to fight both the twins, and they're both powered up. So we have Gun, who has a little less health and is a little easier to track down, still has the most invincible laugh ever. And we're going to be trying to damage both of them as much as possible. But really focusing on at least the one person, because when we do, we're going to phase transition.
Stop it!
Yeah. Oh no, you're getting bullied in the corner.
And even when I'm not in the corner, I'm getting bullied.
Explosions everywhere. Oh, the humanity.
Alright, whatever. As I said, I have enough lives. I can take it. Give me that.
So, once it'll likely be Mr. Y gets down to about 30% left, we'll be phase transitioning. There we go.
And now the fight gets free.
Yep. Mr. Y is going to remember that his first name is Shinji and get in the robot. Surprise. So, he gets put up back to full health because the robot is awesome like that. And now we have to dodge its attacks and Miss Y. But we can still damage Miss Y, and when she gets in the robot, she doesn't get a free heal. So, it turns out our fists are super powerful, and we can just, punch robots and take them down.
The hitbox of him is actually quite annoying though, because sometimes you think like, yeah, I'm literally standing next to him, and nope, you're not. You're not even close, and you're not dealing damage. And then, stuff like that happens.
Yeah, it can be a hard fight to learn to read, but doing a good job so far. A couple deaths is no big deal, even on easy. Like it is a challenging game, and it's a good thing to start out at the lower difficulties. No matter what you're doing. Learn the basics of the game first, and then worry about getting more difficult. But Mr. Y is taken out there, and now Miss Y will take over, and plenty of lives left. Just keep punching the robot down, not a problem. And then time will be coming up here after all the explosions, and we fade to credits. In time. Yeah. Good job.
I'll take a 1-4-14. Which again shows just like 5 minutes average per stage. Last stage 10 minutes. But I mean, I has 2 boss fights, so can't really do much against that. All in all, I have to say, just thanks to Speedromizer for letting me in. Thanks for Maddie for submitting this game. Despite not liking the genre, I enjoyed my time. I will probably never touch this game again.
That's okay, as long as you had some fun with it.
And I mean, I had some fun and a lot of new soundtracks for my playlist, so...
Yeah, the OST for this game is amazing. Just go listen to that, even if you're not interested in playing the game.
Yep.
Yeah, this game has a soundtrack that is a certified banger.
I know we say that about a lot of our speed games, but especially this one. It's what got me to speedrun it in the first place.
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, with that, I don't really have anything anymore. Chat, enjoy the rest of the event. And DJ, and to everyone else here who works behind the scenes, thank you all so much for putting this up. It was a lot of fun, and you definitely got a person who's gonna come back on a regular. Yeah, with that, I don't have anything. Take it away.